Hello and welcome to Kiddick Farm. So we're back with another episode of Farmville, North Carolina, and today we're going to be opening up this field up next to the main farm. This is one of the two large fields that we have by our farm here, and our goal today is to get as much of our corn harvest knocked out as possible. We're going to be doing a little bit of in-cab driving here along the trees. It always bugs me when the camera gets lost in the trees, so we'll get this all opened up today. And these fields should be some of our best fields on the farm. We've got our best soil types up here, and I'm really expecting to see a huge yield coming out of these. If you've watched the previous episode, we were kind of racing here in the beginning part of October, right after the time ticked over to get our hogs fed. I think at this point that race is over. We've got enough food in here to last through the bulk of the day today, which is going to give us plenty of time to get everything harvested and moved over into the feed mill and start cranking that into feed for the hogs. We brought our grain truck and everything back up here to the farm. I've even got the grain cart all hooked up and out, ready to go. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to use in which order here, but I do want to keep the combine moving, and so we're going to be trying to get the grain cart out and run with that a little bit here. Man, we've got some serious dust coming out of the back of this gleaner. I'm going to open this field up by hand here. I think for this field, we're going to do a more traditional style harvest. We might use the normal in-game helper to help us out while we're trying to unload and such. I think on the other field there, I'm going to try and automate with course play to handle all of the driving, including the grain cart course. We might try and do some like cool cinematic shots or something along those lines. We'll see how it goes. But this field we're going to do by hand. It's not that big of a field. It's not going to take us too long, I don't think, to knock this field out. We're going to just have to focus on getting it opened up, though, first. We're already at 47%, almost 120 bushels just getting down the length of the field here. We haven't even gone all the way around yet. I guess I did cut in unnecessarily here, but I just wanted to get everything squared away for the next pass. We'll work on cleaning up these short rows by the bins when I get a chance. And we'll see how long harvest takes us here, but we are coming up to the end of this series. I have made the decision. I think our next series is going to be UMRV. We're going to sell off all the things on the farm and take those assets, take that money, and move over to the other farm, buy a new farm on UMRV, and start out with all new equipment over there. I've loved using some of the stuff we have on this map, but at the same time, I love mixing things up, getting to try some new equipment and such. So we will be trying to use a bunch of new mods. It's been a while since we've done a lot with green equipment, I think, so given that UMRV does have a John Deere dealer, I would expect to see a little bit more of that green paint on stuff as we move over to Iowa. We are going to be playing on the Iowa side of the map. If you didn't catch my live stream, I did a live stream on UMRV and we played around with the big dairy operation, so I thought it would be kind of fun, given that we focused on a hog operation here on Farmville, that we would pick up a dairy operation over on UMRV. I haven't done a whole lot of dairy, a little bit on Westby, but honestly, we didn't get that far in it, and I wasn't very good at it. But I have learned quite a bit since then, and I think we're ready to make an attempt at trying dairy again. And UMRV has a lot of cool stuff going on with regards to that. We've got new crop types, new grass types, I guess I should say. We've got alfalfa and clover over there that we'll be checking out. So I'm looking forward to it. It'll be something a little bit different. Give me an excuse to try some new mods. There's still a few things in the Vermeer pack that I haven't gotten a chance to use yet. And So we'll be mixing it up over there for sure. But that has me kind of wondering how much money we're going to be able to get for our current farm setups and equipment and all of that stuff. We are going to have to do a bit of a tally and figure out how we fairly, I guess, reclaim our money from all of our assets. We are in a significant amount of debt on this particular map as well. So we're going to have to figure that out. We just got full. I'm running over the corn. Oh my goodness, look at all that lost corn. I'm going to put the auger out here and run out here with the grain cart. We got to just get this initial headland passes knocked out here, and we can get a worker going and do this stuff a little bit more efficiently. So if I can just pull in here, there we go. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to mixing things up, and I think that we made more money on this map than anybody really thinks. We never stop to do all the math on all the things that we've spent money on, but even though we're $600,000 in the hole right now, I really think that once we sell things off, we'll be in a really good spot. I think we've learned our lessons from previous fields. We're going to go ahead and take off 4 headland passes on this end to give ourselves lots of room for turning around. Otherwise, we'll be getting hung up on stuff left and right here. I am going to probably just go ahead and take these short rows though first, because I need enough room on that side to turn around to finish taking the headland passes off. So a couple more passes on the short rows will just help that out quite a bit. We are seeing pretty good yields here on the precision farming screen as well. About the same as what we got the previous run, which doesn't surprise me. I wouldn't expect a lot of difference between the previous run and this run. We did apply all of our fertilizers the last time around as well. I think the only real difference would be I think we rolled the fields this time, which would be maybe 5%. I can't remember, but it's a really small number, so I wouldn't expect to see a huge difference on our precision farming map. Now, the real question is, are we going to have enough fuel to finish our fields here? I'd really hate to have to put more fuel into this equipment before we sell it off. Fuel is expensive in Farm Sim. We're going to try and push our luck and make it to the end. I'm going to hire a worker here so I can jump in the grain cart and unload on the go, hopefully. Go. Perfect timing. And here we are. I'm all done emptying out. We gotta jump out here real quick though. No, stop. Well, now I gotta let her finish backing up because we do have crop destruction on. I was hoping to catch the worker before this because we don't need a 5th pass on the headlands here. 1, 2, is that 5? Maybe we do. We'll take one more pass off here, and then that will leave us on the other end to take the long row down and work on the headlands on the other end of this field. A little bit of extra headland space should just make it easier for the worker to do its thing. That's what I'm going to tell myself anyway. And this will give us the opportunity to do the other thing we need to do, which is get our GPS course running on the AB line here. There we go. We've got it all good to go here for the up-down rows. Save us a little bit of grief. And we'll spin down here and take on the headland passes. Get at least, I don't know, 3 or 4 passes done. We might do the 5 like we did on the other side too, just to get them all knocked out here. Put us back on the long rows there on the other side. We might get full before then, though. That's, I guess, my big concern is, can I keep this guy moving until we can get back to the long rows and then go get the grain cart so that we can unload on the go, hopefully. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to have a whole lot of capacity left to head down the long row here and unload on the go. 5% is not going to be enough time for me to drive down here with the grain cart, but I'm going to go ahead and just start him down this way. At least he'll be pointed the right way, and the worker will be able to get his auger out and all that good stuff. I'm going to see if I can sneak out the entrance here without running over our mailbox. There we go. And I'm just hoping that this guy, yeah, there he goes, getting his auger out, all ready to be unloaded. We're actually somewhat full here, 67%. I don't think we'll fit all of the corn in the combine into the grain cart. Now that I'm thinking about it, we'll see. Here we go. We're going to take a chunk out of it, and then I'm going to pull ahead and see if the worker will get started. There we go. I'll get back into position so we can actually unload on the go rather than sitting there waiting for him. Very nice. Let me go ahead and get my auger out, and then I think we're going to bring the grain truck right out here to the corner of the field somewhere to unload into, so I don't have to drive all the way up into the farmyard. It'll save us a little bit of time. We'll always be heading out to the grain mill with the truck once we're full, so this will get him a little bit closer to that as well, as long as I can manage to get out of the field down there, which I think I can. I think the ditch is pretty shallow on the one side, and so I'm going to go ahead and park this guy right down here, like so. Should leave me in a perfect position for getting out of this field. And I should be able to, I think, if I remember right, top off one of these hoppers with this Demco when it's full. So we'll go ahead and fill the truck up first. There we are, getting close. Yep, just as I thought. And we've got 72.5 bushels we can toss back here. Get the grain cart all emptied out with enough time to zip down to the end and unload the combine on the way down again. I don't think it's going to be quite full, but it wasn't empty when we got down here, so it makes sense to go ahead and just grab it again. Now, I had enough room to turn around normally on this end with the passes that we made. Encouraging for sure. I always prefer when the AI helpers don't look completely ridiculous doing what they do. It looks like we did manage to empty the combine out there, but I'm going to keep following it all the way down. We won't get enough to fill up the back of the trailer, but I'd like to see how close we can get. Looks like we'll have that back trailer about half full is my guess. We're going to have somewhere around 200 bushels here. There we go. Let the gleaner do its thing. Hopefully that grain truck isn't in the way. Looks good. And there we go. Yeah, it looks about half full. I think we're in a good spot. So I'm going to let this gleaner make a few rounds, get filled up. I'm going to park the grain cart down here on the other end of the field, and we'll check back in after a few passes. The combine was starting to get a little full, so we're unloading on the way back down here. Looks like it can do about 2 full rounds and be a little over 80% full. So it couldn't do the third round if we'd left it, which is a-okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the couple hundred bushels that we've got in the hopper and go ahead and toss them into the truck. I don't think this is actually quite enough to fill up the truck, though. I think we're going to need one more load out of the combine here to get the truck to a point we can send it up to the feed mill. It's close, but not quite there. Yep, we're at 90%. We could get another 100, 105 bushels in there, something like that. Well, that's all right. We'll just keep trucking here. We'll keep loading. I'll check back in with you guys when we're ready to send it up to the mill. I think we're going to be most of the way through this field with one truckload in the grain cart here. I think we could really get this thing about wrapped up. Let's see, one pass comes in at 55 bushels, so that means a round should be about 110 bushels. Ooh, we might just have enough when we get to the far end. to send our grain truck off. Let's see. And this is, of course, dictated by the soil types that we're in, which is pretty consistent until we get about 2/3 or a halfway through this field. We get into this loam stuff, and we're going to be getting a lot better yields over here for corn. Can't wait to get over there. There we go. Let's see if we can get that 110 bushels that we're looking for. Oh, 108. Let's see. Is it enough? Inquiring minds want to know. It's filling up mighty fast. Oh, look at that. 3 bushels to spare. Very nice. All right, let's shut this thing down. We're going to be gone for just a minute. And we're going to hop into the truck and run this up to the feed mill. Now, like I said, I think I can just sneak out the side of the ditch here. It's a little steeper than I thought it was, but not too bad. I don't really have any good field or driveways on that field. I think you're meant to go in and out through the yard. That's all right. And we should probably cover up our tarps. I can't seem to cover the rear tarp. I wonder why that is. Well, I don't dare start auto drive for fear that it'll tarp it up and I won't be able to untarp it. I can definitely tarp the front. It's just that back one that won't respond to. It's usually either the Z key or you tab to it and hit the N key, but I am tabbed to the trailer and hitting the N key and nothing is happening. I swear the tarp situation, the cover-uncover situation, is probably one of the things that frustrates me the most with Farm Sim lately. It feels like there's just so many either mods or implements that I can't open and close the covers like I want. And it's not a problem with the mods, because it's things that used to work at some point. It's some kind of issue with Farm Sim, and possibly the input bindings. I don't know what's going on, but stuff is getting screwed up all the time, and it's honestly pretty frustrating. All right, we've got all that corn dumped out of there. It goes so much better now that I figured out you can open that door to speed up the unload. And the feed mill is active, so we're processing that corn into pig food. We've already got a fair amount of pig food lined up, so I'm feeling pretty good about where we're at. We're gonna just go ahead and get this guy right back down to the field and jump into that grain cart and start unloading. I'm pretty sure the combine has got to be getting close to needing to be unloaded at this point, though I haven't seen the 80% warning just yet. Yeah, I'm gonna just park this right about the same spot we had it before. Jump into our grain cart as fast as we can, because it does look like he just hit 80%, and I know he won't make it to the other end if we don't catch him at the end here. So let's see if we can at least get him to get his auger out and stop for a few bushels before the end. Oh, there we go. Perfect. We're just going to go ahead and grab what we can here. I could probably let him start going, and we'll grab some more on the way back down here. I just want him to go, go, go. Every moment our combine is stopped means that we're not finishing harvest as fast as we could. It looks like we're just coming to the end of the low-performing soil types here. I think one more pass and we'll start getting into the better corn. And that should be very exciting. Now, I'm trying to remember. I think I put these bins in when we built the farm. I can't recall for sure. I'm actually going to have to go back a few episodes and figure that out. Or go back to the first episode and figure out what all we built on the farm versus what we started with. And I also just need to figure out what things I gave myself for free versus which things we bought over the course of the game. I don't want to give ourselves too much money by doing things like selling the hog enclosure. I know we gifted that to ourselves when we started up the farm. We just kind of included that in the price of doing business, getting the farm started and all that good stuff. So I won't be selling any of the placeables, I don't think, as we get going. But all of the equipment is going to be fair game. So I can't wait to do that math. I'm pretty sure when we started the Farmville series here, though, like, I didn't give us any extra money or do anything like that. I think we started off with a fairly fair start outside of some of our changes to the landscaping and so on and so forth. That's the wonderful thing about it all being on YouTube, though, is I can just go back and look. It looks like we are officially into that better corn here. We've got 61 bushels on that pass down instead of the 55 that we've seen on previous passes. So that's a net of 7 more bushels on that pass down. Not too shabby, not too shabby. And it looks like it's just going to get better as we continue to get closer to the field edge there. So that's good for us. That means we'll be getting a full hopper on the combine here in less than 2 full rounds, which is exactly what I want to see. I want to see it being as full as possible when we start unloading it on the way back down to the headland here. And we got another hopper of corn out of the combine. We really don't need to unload into the truck right away, but we don't have a whole lot else going on here on the farm, so I figured, why not? We'll go ahead and see if we can top off the front hopper here on the grain truck, but it's not going to get even close to full is my guess. But I've been wrong before. Yeah, we're at 49%. Wow, that's actually really close. So that's just a couple of bushels left to top off that front hopper. Nice. Oh, and we've got a few bushels in the back trailer as well, it looks like. Somehow I spilled over and put some in there. If I hadn't done that, we probably would have a full front hopper by now. Loving this yield, and we've only got 2 or 3 rounds left here before we're all done with this field. So let's go ahead and get him unloaded, keep him going, get the worker off again, and yeah, we'll get all of this corn into the grain truck and trailer that we've got here, I'm positive. So this field is going to be right around 2 full truck setups. Very nice. Ooh, he almost had to stop. I think he was slowing down because he was almost full for a second there. We got it just in time. I think I'm going to go ahead and jump over here. We're going to finish up all these small rows while we're down here because I think I've only got the 1 more pass to go all the way up to the other end of the field. I don't think I'm going to need to do a full round. And I'd rather start the next field off back there behind the shed, kind of by the hog enclosure. I think that's going to be the best place to do it. So it only makes sense to knock out everything down here so we don't have to drive all the way back down here. This combine is notoriously slow. These older combines always are. The true telling point will be if I can fit this whole next pass in the header, though. That's what I'm a little bit worried about. We've got, looks like 1 stray row here I'm going to pick up all the way down to where it ends before we turn around, even though I'm like going more than halfway down the field at this point. Now the real question is this part that's left, is this 1 pass left, or are we going to have a row of shame all the way down the field? That's what I don't know. By row count, it should be good to go. There we go. I'm going to pick up 1 more row here on my left as we get going, but that's all right. We've got a row left to handle that. I'm going to turn the GPS on. Yeah, perfect. Somehow we came out perfect on this field this time around. I feel like we always have like a couple rows that are awkwardly spaced that are left. It's not very often that when you get to the end of the field, you've got 1 perfect pass remaining. And we'll just go ahead and clean up these few short rows right here behind the bins. Can't believe we missed 1 whole stock there. That is definitely going to annoy me. We're going to luckily be turning around to get a couple rows here, and I'm going to have to go pick up that 1 stock. I will not admit defeat to a stubborn stock. Here we go. We'll even do a little bit of in-cab here for our final pass. There it is. We got you, you stubborn stalks. All right. Well, that wraps up this field. Let's go ahead and get the auger out. And I'm just going to run down there with the grain cart and empty out the combine right quick. We've got almost half of a grain cart here filled up. We'll not quite have enough to fill up the back of that grain truck, though. Hop over into the combine here so we can shut her down as soon as we're done unloading. There it is. And we're gonna just leave that there for now. And I'm gonna run this up to the other end of the field. We're gonna get it dumped just out of pure curiosity if we can send that grain truck on its way or not. We've got almost 400 bushels here, so we're close, we're close. That's right, we had a little bit to go into the front hopper still. Well, it's not full. We can actually probably get another, I don't know, 100, 150 bushels in there is my guess. So we're going to go ahead and just leave the grain cart somewhere down here, because I think by the time we need it, the combine will have made its way down to this end of the field. Probably be somewhere over on the other tree line there. And yeah, we've got enough room for a bit there. We're going to wrap up today's episode here. Next episode, we're going to tackle the last field of harvest here and probably sell off all of our assets and get a final number for this series. I can't wait to come up with some kind of a grading system on how we did on this series. I know we made a profit. It's just a question of how much of a profit did we make. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. If you did, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. That's all for today. Kedrick out.